seen Jose from a distance in Houston.
Show us as the Latino culture that's what we're here to do.
So we are right at 11:30. Are we good to move forward?
Good to go. I think we're ready.
Let's get this party going. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, this event went live, I think Monday night, maybe Tuesday morning, and we're basically sold out. We've got 100 folks registered. Most, I'm sure, are probably already on the line. So thank you on behalf of myself, on behalf of the team. I'm so excited to introduce you to the Fantastic Four, which is what I like to call it. So good morning. My name is Veronica Martinez. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Guaranteed Rate. Some of you guys may know me from other organizations. I'm the immediate past president for NAREP Houston and the current president for HMLO, the Hispanic Mortgage Lenders Organization. And we've got the vice president down below, Ms. Josie Anderson. Can't wait to introduce y'all. So let's get this party started. So we have the Fantastic Four on as panelists today, and we have titled this virtual event "A Realtor's Toolbox for Surviving COVID-19." Friends, we don't want you just to survive. We want you to thrive in your businesses. I am really busy right now. I'm so blessed to have incoming business. And part of what's helping is access to tools such as grants, down payment assistance programs, flexible underwriting guidelines. When other lenders are saying no, I'm so grateful to be with a company that is saying yes. So let's get this party started. Let me introduce you quickly. We have Jose Zavala, the CEO of ZTX Tax Advisors. We've got Sebastian Giraldo. He's account executive with Goosehead Insurance. And last but not least, we have Ms. Josie Anderson, Regional VP of Business Development with Valero Title. I'm sure all of you guys know her. If not, I'm so glad to introduce y'all to this Fantastic Four. So let's get started. As a loan officer, I've been just really watching what's going on social media. And one of the biggest misconceptions right now is that there's no grant or down payment assistance out there. So I'm going to introduce you to a few of the programs available that are still doing business. We can still say yes to helping our families, to helping our clients. So when we look at the grants and down payment assistance, we're just going to jump right in because your time is precious. We start with the city. We can then look at the county, and then we're going to look at state programs. To briefly introduce you, we've got the City of Houston program. When you're looking at the City of Houston, starting at the city level, they're currently providing up to $30,000 in down payment assistance. Then moving forward, if your families are looking at properties outside of the City of Houston, we've got the Harris County program. They're offering $23,800. The most popular one, and where more families are probably going to qualify for, it's the state program. So this actually covers the entire state of Texas. So I did see some registrations. We have some friends from San Antonio. Shout out to our San Antonio friends and agents. This is actually a program that you can use as well because this program is available in the entire state of Texas. So we've got TSHAC, the Texas State Affordable Housing Corporation. They're providing the Home Sweet Texas Home and the Home for Texas Heroes. And that's a grant anywhere between 3 to 5%. We're going to go through some calculations in just a minute. We're also going to go over the MCC program, which is the Mortgage Credit Certificate program. This is a tax credit program that's different from a tax deduction, and we're going to go through that in just a second. And don't worry, at the end, we're going to leave some time open for Q&A as well. So looking at the first program, the Home Sweet Texas Home Loan Program. This is a down payment assistance or grant, it's a grant or forgivable second lien loan. The down payment assistance available is up to 5% of the loan amount. So we actually do calculate, the different grant options are 3, 4, and 5%. And I'll show you in just a minute how the interest rate is impacted depending on the amount of assistance they request. So if your borrower, let's just take an easy example. Let's look at a loan amount of $200,000. If the grant amount is 3%, that's $6,000. If it's a 4% grant, it's $8,000. And then we can even go up to 5%. So 5% of a $200,000 loan amount, that's $10,000 that can go towards down payment and or your closing costs. And you actually, yes, can combine this with seller contribution. So if your buyer has one and not the other, we can go with a 3% grant to help them pay for one of the two. The really cool part, y'all see my dog in the back. Hey, we're all home, right? We're all normal. So anyhow, so welcome to my home. So they do not have to be a first-time home buyer. This is statewide. So regardless of county you're in, most counties, about 99% of the counties in Texas do qualify. The income limits do vary by county. So as an example, since most of the listeners here are in Harris County, in the Harris County program, the income limits for a government loan, so if we go with an FHA or a VA loan, it's $87,745. And then for conventional, it's $61,680 for a conventional loan. The sales price limits vary by county. The Harris County is $298,085 when you're looking at a sales price maximum. So I've kind of gone over the Home Sweet Texas Home Loan Program. They also have the Homes for Texas Heroes loan program. It's the same, but it's for Texas Heroes. And the Texas Heroes are teachers, firefighters, EMS workers, police officers and correctional officers, and veterans as well. Today, I actually have a school teacher who is closing on her first home in a beautiful neighborhood, actually using this program right here, and she just cannot be more happier. I'm so excited for her. So the added benefit when you're doing the Homes for Texas Heroes loan program is that they actually receive the MCC program for free. Remember, that's the Mortgage Credit Certificate Program. And I'm going to go into details in just a minute how the MCC program works. So something that you don't see listed, but I do want to make sure I include, is the credit score requirements. TSHAC's credit score requirements for FHA is a 620 mid credit score, and for conventional is a 640. Right now, everyone's doing business just a little bit differently. We're having to kind of function within a little bit of a smaller box, which are called, overlay guidelines. Right now for this program, Guaranteed Rate, which is the company that I work for, gratefully they didn't say, completely stop doing the programs. They've just given us an additional guideline that the minimum credit score would be 680 right now. Again, that's temporary because remember, COVID-19 is here. It is not here to stay. It's here to pass. So I'm excited to get back to normal, hopefully one day, very soon. So the next slide, I'm going to show you some sample interest rates, okay? How does the program work? So let me move this just a little bit. So for the sample rates, here's the website for the TSHAC, but if you just go to tsahc.org, you can get all this information. I pulled all this information from the website, and as a realtor, you actually do have access to this information, including the interest rates. I'm going to simplify it just a little bit because when I look at this grid sometimes I'm like, wow, that's a lot of numbers, lots of rates, lots of percentages. So let's just look at a good example. Let's say that, for example, my buyer today, she's a school teacher, she qualified for an FHA loan and she just needed the 3% grant. She just needed that little bit of a shot in the arm to help her become a homeowner. So her interest rate would be 3.375. The larger the grant amount, the higher the interest rate, and these interest rates do change on a daily basis, and they can change in the middle of the day. We as the lender actually do not decide what the interest rate is on the program. TSHAC does. They decide the interest rate. So yes, the interest rates are a little bit higher. They're a little bit above market. However, this provides a real solution for families that just don't have it. Or if they do, right now, a lot of families are wanting to, save as much as they can in their pocket for Unforeseen circumstances. What if their hours get cut? What if they get laid off? That is a real problem. So this is a great, great program. Historically, guys, I've been in the business for 15 years. Historically, interest rates are still very low. Okay, when I started, the interest rates were 6 and 7 and 8% back in 2005. So let's move forward. So we have the MCC program, Mortgage Credit Certificate. The MCC is a tax credit and not a tax deduction. And let's kind of walk through the difference between the two. So if you have a tax deduction is, let's say that your income is $40,000 for the year, and you have a $4,000 tax deduction on your tax return. Your taxable income would be $36,000. That's what you would pay your taxes based on. A tax credit is if your tax liability, let's say you're self-employed, you owe Uncle Sam $300 is in taxes, in income taxes. Well, this tax credit is actually up to $2,000 for the life of $2,000 for the life of the loan, as long as you're paying interest. Well, if you owe $300, but your tax rate, the tax credit is about $2,000, the $300 tax liability gets wiped out dollar for dollar, and that's $1,700 back as a potential tax refund. This MCC is for first-time home buyers. The MCC is a mortgage interest tax credit, and it reduces the amount of overall federal income taxes you pay every year. Guys, this is the program that just keeps on giving, okay? The benefits, it can be combined with TSHAC's down payment assistance, and it is free for Texas Heroes. You save thousands of dollars over the life of the mortgage, and there's no minimum credit score for the MCC program. Now let's walk through some free resources. We are here to give you tools. Here are some free marketing resources that you have that TSHAC provides. If you go to their website, www.tshac, it's TSAHC.org, and you click on Realtors, then you click on Marketing Resources, then click on Brochures. You'll eventually get to this spot right here where you can download some fillable free flyers to market yourself as a professional that works with the program. So you would put your information down here. The next one, you can actually look at, of course, how busy I can get with some open windows. But when you click on the brochures, it says General Homebuyer Program Brochures and Flyers. If you take it one step further and you click on Homes for Texas Heroes Program Brochures and Flyers, you can see here that, and if I could scroll down, then you would see that there's actually, if you want to market to or help a very specific group of or audience, let's say you want to market specifically to police officers, there's actually a police officer specific flyer on here. You fill in your information and boom, free marketing right there. So I would be remiss, we've gone through the state program and I've quickly gone through it, but I would be remiss if I would miss this opportunity if I didn't take the opportunity to provide also a snapshot of what of the value that Guaranteed Rate brings you. Guaranteed Rate is the mortgage company that I work for that brings you as a lender partner to make it easier for borrowers to do business with you and to help you grow your business. We are a fully digital company. We can do the entire process start to finish without ever having to meet in person. Our marketing tools that we offer, let's kind of run through this. We start the complete digital process through our digital mortgage, our mobile application. So your clients, it takes them not even 15 minutes to complete their mortgage application. Our flash close process, I'll briefly go through just a handful. Our flash close process actually allows your families the opportunity to begin signing their closing documents before they even get to the closing table. Meaning, if they have to go to closing at the title company, that process is very efficient. It's less time that they have to spend there. And right now with COVID-19, we're trying to stay away from as many folks as possible, right? Moving forward, the other free resources that you have as a realtor our gate list system that actually provides free marketing flyers, and List Home. The List Home program is actually, it helps both of us. It gives us both the opportunity to create personalized property websites for your listings for free. I pay that so that you as a realtor can benefit from our free marketing resources. Friends, there are so many more, just tools, agent partner tools that Guarantee Rate provides. I don't want to take the entire hour because we have three more professionals just waiting to give you more resources to help you grow your business. So at this time, I just want to take a moment to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I want to give Jose Zavala a moment to gather some of the questions, anything in the chat box, anything that I can help with from a loan officer perspective, any questions I can answer.
Yes, we got a question from Yeli. Do buyers apply for those programs themselves or the loan officer does it for them?
Great question. So I'm actually a certified loan officer. I have to go through a training. We do all that for them. So connect us with the buyer. I actually, as a loan officer, I actually have a really big toolbox that I can dip into with all kinds of other first-time home buyer programs. So let us actually walk the buyer through the program. They do not have to, they do not apply for TSHAC. We actually do that for them. Programs like the City of Houston, it's a little bit different. They can actually get pre-qualified and get a reservation letter from the city. But for this one specifically, they do not. I do that for them.
Okay, we have another question from Rosanna asking if you can send her the presentation, the
Yeah,
site deck.
absolutely. I'd be more than happy to. We actually have emails for anyone that registered. I have emails that I'll share with the team as well. That way they can share, any presentations or material that they want to share. But yes, I'd be more than happy to.
Okay, we have another one from Zelda. Has the credit score increased for all loans or just a TSHAC program?
Great question. The credit score increase is just for TSHAC. So right now, our temporary guidelines, normally I can go down to a 580 credit score for FHA loans, for government loans. However, it's just a temporary increase. So right now, just a regular FHA loan, we can go down to 640, and TSHAC, we've got to have a 680 if we're going to do any of the grant programs. So it's just temporary.
Okay. That's all the questions we had so far. So if we have any more, then we can maybe circle around on the end and answer them as well. So, okay, it is my turn to shine. So, Jose Zavala, guys, ZTX Advisors. We are a full service bookkeeping and tax firm, but we don't just do that. We do a lot of business consulting, business continuity, and our main focus is technology and helping small businesses leverage technology to save a little bit of money, save a little bit of time, and be as efficient as possible. That's kind of where our focus is, and that's where we like to work with. We work with a lot of realtors. We work with a lot of professional service firms, people that use their reputation for business, their reputation as their business, because traditionally you make a lot of money and have minimum overhead, working from home, small office, no employees. And where we kind of specialize with that is the tax planning. So making sure that you're doing what you need to do to make sure that your money is working for you instead of just paying it to the government every year on April 15th. So quick example, you owe $10,000 to the IRS after the end of the year. Okay, what can we do to spend those 10,000 to get you to lower your tax bill that's going to work for you? A retirement account. Talking about a retirement account, so you need to open up. Do you need to get maybe a new piece of equipment? You need a new computer. You're a photographer. You need to spend 8,000 on the new iMac because you got to be up on top of everything. That's the conversations we're going to have, and what's the return on investment to make sure that you get it, and not just running your business trying to save money on taxes, because you're not going to grow that way. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, the PPP and the EIDL loans, but if you guys haven't heard, they're out. Government ran out, banks ran out, and so that leaves a lot of small business owners really kind of out there trying to figure out what to do and everything. So with the CARES Act, there's actually some other things that if you have employees, there's the employee retention credit that you can take, and then you can defer your a portion of your payroll taxes as well to do that. Now that's something you need to work with. If you have a payroll provider, work with them, or if you have an accountant or a CPA or a tax preparer, and they're doing your payroll, get with them because that's something that's going to be available to you ASAP. Now you can't double dip. You can't take those credits and take the PPP loan. So if you guys got in your application to the PPP and you're waiting, I would say see if something gets processed, see what's going on. So for those of you like small business owners, though, unfortunately, there's not really much out there. My recommendation would be if you need to, unemployment is there. It's available. It's open to self-employed. So for those of you guys that are self-employed, if you need to, unemployment is there. They opened up the program to include that. So that's the first time that I've ever seen, and I think that's the first time it's ever been done to where you can actually go and get that information. Now, I this is just speculation on my end, but I see the government essentially refunding these programs. And if they do, then we need to make sure we have kind of all our ducks in order. And the most important thing for self-employed people is get your tax return done. Your 2019 tax return with your Schedule C. That's going to be the most important thing. That's what they're going to be asking for. They're asking for line 31 on your Schedule C, which is your income minus expenses. Okay, and this is a conversation too that I have a lot with a lot of clients of mine. Is traditionally we want to save money on taxes, so we try to increase expenses and we try to minimize our tax liability. So we show minimum income or we show minimum net amount on our tax return. But you need to be careful with that because you need to make sure, one, you're reporting everything you have, and two, you're picking up all the expenses, of course, but you need to look at what your 5 and your 10-year goals are. And this is something that as well for you realtors, real estate agents, this is something you need to be talking with your clients as well is, oh, I don't want to pay money on taxes. I don't want to, this. Well, there's solutions that could be done to help save them some money, but we want to make sure to record everything so that you can, so the 3, 4, 5 years of your worth of your tax returns, you can actually show that you had some income and not just focus solely on trying to save money on taxes. Because it's you guys, Veronica, and I'm sure you could attest to this. Somebody that's trying, all they focus on is tax savings. They try to go buy a house, and all of a sudden it's like they don't qualify because they just don't have the income. So that's going to be, to me, the most important thing is going to be to make sure that when you're talking with a lot of these, with your clients, and especially with these realtors, as you're going through, and because I know my dad's a realtor, so I know he helps kind of with the pre-qual and getting everything ready for the loan officer and everything. And, just making sure that you have those conversations with them, let them know, hey, your business comes first, but we need to make sure that what we're reporting, what we're doing is actually, we're making sure that we are reporting everything, which is we need to be anyways, but then at the same time, not making up expenses or not really focus. Because our main focus cannot be just tax savings. Because like I said, at the end of the day, everybody has a business. Everybody's trying to grow a business. If your main focus is that, you're going to hinder your growth from there. So we're actually offering for any small business owners free 30-minute consultation for anybody, just to kind of help them with some cash flow issues, how to manage this. If you guys are trying to figure out how to pivot, what you can do, what you can use, that's what we're doing, what we're providing right now. So we're actually helping some of our clients actually change some of the revenue streams to something kind of completely different, or maybe the same realm, but pivot a little bit if need be. So that's going to be something that we're doing and helping them with cash projections and trying to make sure that they do have the cash to survive this. Because hopefully this will end pretty soon, but you never know. Like I said, I was so ready to talk about these loans, but we're out of money. So now I will say this: for those that did get it, on the back end is going to require a lot of documentation. A lot. All of these banks are going to ask for a lot of backup documentation. So for you guys that got them, or you have clients that got them, you need to make sure that keep every single receipt you can. And let me give you a quick tip in order to do this. It's going to be free and easy, and that way you don't lose the paper receipt. Open up an email with Gmail account. Business name, receipts@gmail.com. So for me, it'd be ZTX Advisors receipts@gmail.com. Moving forward, you get a receipt, take a picture of it, email it into that email address. You have a copy now, an online storage of that email receipt there. To be able to go in and add files and add different folders to organize it, or you can move it from there over to You can provide that over to Google Drive if you need to, and do it that way. But it's just an easy, quick way to do it because they're going to ask you for proof of what you spent for the forgiveness portion of it. Now, if you're using it mainly for payroll, you use a payroll company, simple, not a problem. But if you're using it for rent and some of these other things, you're going to need to proof some of that up. So that's going to be really, really, really important to documentation. And at the same time, moving forward while you're doing it, go ahead and implement that into your business because documentation is just important, period, for your business. So so yeah, that's going to be pretty much the main important thing. We if you have any questions, guys, like I said, we'll share the information at the end. But that's kind of like I said, my time got cut in half because we ran out of money. So
Oh boy. Well, we
yeah.
do have a couple of questions. Thank you so much, Jose. And we're already getting requests for folks to, get your contact information. One of the questions on the Q&A is some independent contractors who haven't filed taxes in 3 years or more. What is available to them with the CARES Act?
So independent contractors who haven't filed as of right now with this leaving, they can reduce a portion, the payroll, the self-employed portion that's due for the estimated tax payments. They can delay the payment on that if you're making estimated tax payments. So if you're a self-employed person, you should be making quarterly estimated tax payments in. But if they haven't filed for 3 years, they need to get everything caught up like ASAP. Like that's the most important thing because all the questions they're asking, if these loans do come back, whatever comes up, they're going to need to ask. And from what I've been told as well, we haven't had too many clients of mine do unemployment in Texas. I've got a lot of clients in California that have been doing it, but so oddly enough, I actually know how to navigate California better than Texas. But from what I've seen, Texas is asking for your 2018 or 2019 tax return. So yeah, for those independent contractors, the most important thing is to get those filed ASAP so that you have that information. And then from there, for them, then I would have them look into unemployment for now because that's really the only thing that's going to get them any kind of cash in hand right now. Oh, stimulus checks. Stimulus checks. Sorry, I forgot about those. Stimulus checks, guys. The IRS has a website where if you have your 2018 tax return and they have your banking information, you should be getting a check. Now, if you haven't gotten it yet, give them some time. They're processing all the information. If you filed your 2018 and you haven't filed 19, but you qualify for the stimulus check, then there's a website, and I'll post it in the chat here in a little bit, to where you can go and verify your information, your banking information, if you're missing it. Now, if you log in and it tells you, there's no information or there's nothing available, give it some time. The IRS is they're being overclogged and they're working with a skeleton crew right now. But yeah, the stimulus check should be coming in, and from what we've heard, some people haven't been paid their $500 for the dependents. Some people haven't been paid the right amount. So that's that's something that is going to be the IRS is working on it. They're aware of it. They're working on it. But it's just at this point, I hate to tell you guys this, but we got to be patient, And I feel like we've been keep asking to keep patient, be patient, but nothing's happened. So I'll post that link up for you guys to check it as well. And if you do have the 2018 information, then guys should have, and you do have they do have your banking information. They should have went ahead and hopefully have already deposited it into your account. And so yeah, those stimulus checks they're coming, and if they haven't received them, they're coming here pretty soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jose. And I wanted to add, so Jose, we just heard from Jose Zavala, and that was actually all the questions, Jose, on the Q&A. I do want to add, I was supposed to do your intro. I'm so sorry. So I have all my notes here. So just to kind of do maybe a closing for him. So he is the treasurer for NAREP Houston. He's the CEO of ZTX Advisors. He's a tax advisor. Other services that his company provides are accounting, bookkeeping, tax preparation, personal tax planning, small business tax, tax advisory, project management, business consulting. On his day-to-day, he helps real estate agents and professional service firms save time, money, and automate their business. So thank you so much, Jose. We're running right on time, which I love it. Your time is precious. So next up, we have Miss Josie Anderson. She's the Regional VP of Business Development of Valero Title. The Valero Title is known for their concierge customer service, as I like to say it, and their zero escrow fee, saving your buyers and sellers money. A fun fact about Josie is she's a past volunteer firefighter. She's going to kick my butt for saying that. So take it away, Miss Josie.
Thank you, Veronica, and thank you for having me. And I just want all of you participants to know that I'm sending you a big virtual hug. I miss you guys. I miss a contact, I know. So sending all of you guys a big hug. Just kind of wanted to talk today about how things have changed in the title industry. At Valero, we have adopted the stay home, stay safe guidelines because we want everyone, you know, on our staff to be safe. With that being said, one of the things that has changed, I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Zocum. Zocum is a mobile app where you can actually transfer earnest money. So you don't have to make contact with anyone. You don't have to come to the office, stay home, stay safe. That's one thing that we've changed. The other thing that we also offer at Valero Title is we do offer complimentary mobile notary. With that being said, we are more than welcome to go to people's homes. There are some people that are still working. We have notaries that have been so great about staying safe. They're wearing masks, they're wearing gloves, they're keeping the social distance, so everyone around is safe. You would be surprised how creative some of these mobile notaries have gotten with staying safe. With that being said, remember that your home equity and any of your reverse mortgages, those still have to close at a title company. So we are making exceptions on those. We are closing them at the title company because that is Texas law. That has to be done. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of RON. RON is the new thing out there that everyone is talking about. RON stands for Remote Online Notary, is what that stands for. Just so that you know, there is a big demand right now for RON. They are actually unable to keep up with all the requests because there is such a high demand with everything that is going on with COVID-19. Here are a couple of companies that our underwriters are approved with. Remember, in order for your title company to use RON, they have to be approved through our underwriters. A few that we are using is Nexus, Doc Verify, Notary Cam. Those are a few that are approved through our underwriters, just so that you guys know. Also, remember that there is a difference between RON and electronic closing. Okay, those are two totally different things. So RON is a remote online notary where the person is at their home, the notary is at their home. It is done through video, but everything is done in the comfort of your home. Okay, so please know that. Also with RON, there is a strict vetting process. So you have to have proper documentation to show on camera. You also have to have video. You have to have a mic. So there are, they will also, on the sign-up sheet, they will send you a questionnaire. And that questionnaire will ask you questions that only you can answer. What's your first pet's name? Do you own a, Chevrolet, car? They ask you things that only you would know. So make sure that when you're applying to do RON, make sure that you know that those are questions that are going to be answered that only you can answer and no one else. An electronic closing versus a remote closing. An electronic closing is still done with people being present. So the only difference is they are signing on an iPad or they're signing on a computer, but they are still in the presence of a notary. So it's still person to person. So that's a difference between RON and electronic closings. Also, for those of you, I've gotten tons of phone calls from notaries. For those of you that are interested in Ron and want to figure out how to get your licensing, please contact the Secretary of State. That's who you can contact to get your Ron licensing. I know there was one other thing that I wanted to say about the Ron. It'll come to me in just a second. One of the hurdles that we have been we've been trying to get over with all this going on with COVID-19 is, guys, most lenders need for title companies to record the deeds before the loans fund. Okay, there are about 70 counties that e-record in the state of Texas. Okay, in Harris County, they are closed and are not accepting e-recordings at this time. With that being said, in a title policy, there is a built-in gap insurance, okay, which covers about 30 days. We had a meeting with our underwriter the other day, and if we go much past those 30 days, guys, they will have to reevaluate and see how they will handle this. So hopefully this will come to an end pretty soon. But please know that in Harris County, that is, they are not accepting electronic recordings at this time. Let me know if you have any questions. I've tried to cover all of the information or the questions that I've gotten from my clients, but I'm here if you have any questions. Please know that you're always welcome to contact me. I'll put my contact information as well at the end, but let us know if there's anything we can help you with. And thank you, Vero, for putting this all together. This is amazing.
Awesome, good deal. Thank you so much, Josie. I see one Q&A. Jose, do you want to go through that?
Yeah. So it's from Leslie. If you know a notary, would they contact the Secretary of State in order to be approved to do RON? And do you know how much they get paid if they want to do this?
It's not any different. Every company is different depending on who you're signed up with. If you're signed up with someone like ASAP or someone like DocuSign, they pay a certain fee. If someone is over at Valero Title, we pay a certain fee. So there's no real answer on how much everybody gets paid. I can tell you that it goes anywhere from $75 to $125 per closing.
Okay. We got another one from Anonymous. How does a recording issue in Harris County affect keys being released to the buyer?
So because we do have the gap insurance, it has not affected us in any way, because once again, you do have gap insurance on the title policy.
Okay. I think that's so far all the questions we have.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you so much, Josie. We appreciate you. And we're continuing to run on time, guys. So if you have any additional questions, make sure to post them in the Q&A and let us answer them for you before you get off the phone. So last but certainly not least, we've got Mr. Sebastian Giraldo, account executive with Goosehead Insurance. He is someone that I really love talking to, super high energy, always has a smile on his face, as you can see, hustles every day, and is a real solution finder as well. He's already helped me save some transactions with his great insurance quotes. As you may know, the price our buyers pay for insurance can really vary, even by hundreds of dollars, depending on the carrier, even for the same coverage. So he really works hard to find the best coverage for the best premium and will help you find solutions for your clients. So Mr. Sebastian, take it away.
That's right. Well, guys, again, Sebastian, thank you, Vero. Thank you, Josie and Jose, for partnering up together so we can, do this presentation here. So really quick, guys, I'm going to talk about the who, the what, and the why, right, with Goosehead. Also, I'm going to touch on, I think, 3 key takeaways that I want to share with you guys that I think have helped me as far as building, goodwill, building my brand, and then also social media. I want to touch on a little bit about social media. So who we are, right? Goosehead Insurance. We are actually the largest independent brokerage in the state of Texas, right? I think second largest in the nation as of right now, right? So what that means is we have the ability to, or the pleasure, I should say, to shop over 30 different carriers, right? So essentially why that's good for your clients is because, well, they'll get the best fit. And like Veronica was saying, it's that, insurance companies can discriminate based on several factors, right? It's a business. There's a thing called risk management. What I mean by that is that certain insurance companies, if they want to move into a certain area, right, for risk management, they'll start offering favorable premiums in that area, right? When, let's say, some years pass and then the same company jacks your rate up, that's their way of saying they don't want to do business in that area, right? So client always gets the best fit. I always like to tailor the policy to match the client's needs. Everyone is different. I do not pick out of my client's pockets. I make sure to be very thorough and ask as many questions as I can, really, to digest all this information, really tailor a policy that's going to protect their biggest asset, arguably, right? In more cases than not, 9 times out of 10, it is. And I want to ensure it the right way. I want to make sure this person has the right coverage, because God forbid, in the event that something happens, well, you're going to wish you had the right coverage, right? Or good insurance. Now, we don't just sell. I like to say I educate, right? So I could be just a salesman and sell anything, right? I think I have the ability to just sell, right? It's in my personality. But at the end of the day, anybody can sell. You can teach anybody. But at the end of the day, I like to be an educator, like an advisor, I would call myself, right? So your client, whenever they get sent to me, for example, or maybe a great insurance agent who's going to do his job right, it's going to speak volumes because you referred them over, right? And I'll touch on why it's very good to have a team around you, kind of like how we are right here, the Fantastic Four, right? Always really good to have a team. Now, the what? Introduce homeowners insurance early. I know Realtor is a big thing with you guys. You just, most people, I would say, leave it up to the lender, right, to handle all the insurance stuff. Like Veronica, I partner with her. I have the pleasure of taking care of her clients. I love it, right? Now, one thing that I want to tell you guys is I think you should introduce homeowners insurance early on in the process. It's something that your clients need a little push on, so that way they can start looking. Imagine showing your client a home, right? They fall in love with the home. It's their dream home. You've worked hard to show them how nice it is. They're absolutely in awe. Next thing you know, you happen to get into the insurance side, and now their home premium is something that's unaffordable. Maybe now they're in a flood zone. They have to get a flood insurance, right? High risk. It's going to be very expensive. And so, again, introduce it early. Make sure they understand what kind of premiums they can get. It takes me not too long to get on the phone and run a quote. It's fairly easy. Now, you want to make the process seamless, right? So I don't know where I read this, but there was an article where it was like the second most stressful time in a person's life is buying a home. I think first might have been like marriage or a death in the family, right? Which kind of makes sense. Now, another thing about flood zone determination. Okay, so a lot of my realtors, I did this 3 times yesterday with some of my realtor friends. They'll be looking at a home or a buyer's interested in, and they'll just shoot me a quick text. Hey, Sebastian, I have a buyer. Rachel, right? Here's the address. Can you check the flood zone if they're in a flood zone or not? It takes me literally 2 minutes in the snap of a finger to actually check what kind of zone they're in, to know if they're in the zone X, which is, standard, right? Not high risk, or zone AE, which is high risk, right? So that way it's good information for you to know to relate to the buyer. The more you guys can provide for the client, the more seamless, the smoothest the process. And what would that do in return? Well, it'll probably drive up referrals later on, right? I don't know where the stat is, or I saw something where, a client is probably going to refer you a family member, or they're probably, if they buy another home, they'll probably reach out to you to go sell them that same home, right? If you did a good job, if your product was good, if your service was great, and overall they liked you, right? Now, really quick on the why. So I always think that you should work with somebody who works just as hard as you do, who understands you. I know everybody that's watching here, when they were in high school or middle school, had group projects. And then there was always that one slacker, right? Where you guys would be doing all the work, and then that person's just driving you insane. Like, why didn't they do any work? It's kind of the same thing in our industry right now, right? So partner up with a great lender like Veronica, partner up with a title company. There's 4 entities, right? 4 main entities. I know there's credit repair and other stuff on warranty, but it's the title company, the realtor, insurance agent, and the lender, right? So I say, again, have a Fantastic Four like we do, right? Build your squad, your team, your family, right? So that way your business will be booming, right? So some 3 key takeaways I think about building brand is amazing is number 1, people are extremely loyal to certain brands, right? You are your own brand. Think about the term. When I say just do it, what do y'all think of? Is it Nike? It should be, right? So Nike, just do it. It sticks in your head, right? So you should, I encourage everybody to create a tagline. I know many of your companies probably have a tagline. I think mine's kind of cheesy. I put it on my business card. I'm actually going to change it, I think. But it's like hashtag save with Sebastian, right? Hashtag savings by Sebastian. I don't know, right? Something like that. I have a buddy who works with me. He's great on social media, and his name is Grant, and his hashtag is Goosehead Grant, right? So every time you post, he always hashtags that. And what does it do? It's going to stick in your head, right? So whenever you think of insurance, you're probably going to call Goosehead Grant or maybe Sebastian, hopefully, right? So another thing here is standing out from the crowd, okay? So think about who your audience is. What your top competitors are doing in terms of their business. Is it working for them? Why is it working for them, right? I'm not saying adopt every single thing that you see somebody doing, but at the end of the day, if it works for you, if you can make it your own, I suggest trying it out, right? Now, another thing would be being patient with your brand. Some people try to rush things, I think, too much. And I think people should basically take on every new outreach initiative with care. Think of it as your baby. You don't want to ever just go in the swing of things and think, oh, I think this is going to work, and just toss it out in social media or put your marketing efforts somewhere where it's just not going to work. So think thoroughly to that throughout that stuff, right? The other thing is being consistent. Okay, this is the most important thing. It applies to everything in life, whether it's building your body to try to get fit, right? You're not going to do it by going to the gym once or twice. You got to repetitively keep doing it. Oop. Getting a call from a client, sorry guys. But either way, so so be consistent. Think of your outreach as being interconnected. Think of your advertising, marketing. Everything is a brain, right? Everything flows through the brain. So you can't just be saying one thing and posting one thing and then doing the other, right? Basically, that's false promising or over promising and under delivering, right? It doesn't sit well with clients. Okay, so another thing that I want to touch on is putting people first. I know many of you guys know you have to put people first. You're in the real estate industry, which is pretty much your client referral based, right? Your word of mouth spreads like wildfire. Okay, so make sure you put everybody first. They are the reason. Your clients are the reason why you get to put food on your table, why you get to buy a nice car if you do well, why you get to buy a home. I view my clients as family, right? I know they're going to reach out to me. If I do right by them, they're going to tell everybody about me, right? So that's one thing. You basically embodying a people first attitude in everything that you do, okay? Another thing that I wanted to touch on is goodwill, okay? So supporting the community. Right now, things are crazy. I don't think anybody has experienced what we're experiencing right now with Corona. It's insane. At first, it almost seems like the twilight zone, right? But maybe use it to your advantage, right? It's almost like a weakness turns into a strength. Support the community. What I mean by that is restaurants, right? They're struggling. Local restaurants, people are getting laid off. I know so many people in my family that have been laid off or friends. Thankfully, I get to keep my business running, although it's definitely taken a hit. I don't mind being vulnerable and letting people know that. Although it's going great because of the client referrals that I have, and I think it's due to my goodwill. Think of reaching out to your past clients as well. That's something I've done in the insurance industry. I don't know if it applies too much to you guys. I think it does. If you ever kept like a book of maybe the clients you sold to a year ago or 2 years ago, I highly suggest for you to call them. It takes nothing out of your day to get a 5-minute phone call and say, hey, how are you doing? How has Corona affected you? Start listening. The power of shutting up and listening, right? Take everything, digest what they're saying, show you care, be human. And then I would go into, I have this thing where there's the good news approach that we just started rolling out. So several insurance companies, at least on the auto side, they're doing discounted premiums for the month of March and however many months Corona keeps probably going on because, well, people aren't driving as much, right? So obviously they should probably get back. One of the things I'm doing is calling my clients that have the carriers that are giving discounts and letting them know about that. When I take the time to do that, they'll go ahead and reply with wow, thanks. That's awesome, Sebastian. Thank you for letting me know. Awesome. Then I get into my vulnerable / aggressive referral ask is what I call it. I don't mind being vulnerable and letting you know, hey, Corona has affected many people. It's affecting me as well. And, letting them know that right now I depend on my clients more than ever, right? I usually depend on realtors and mortgage lenders, but things are looking to slow down a bit, right? So get your clients to refer you out people, okay? They'll love that you gave them good news. After that, I go ahead and ask, do you have anybody you know, or who do you, I don't like an open-ended question, not a yes or no question, right? So I kind of ask like, who can you think of right now that would be a good person for me to speak with, right? It's not a yes or no answer. Just be quiet after that and let them talk, right? And they'll probably give you some people. I've had great success with that so far. In fact, at the moment, well, as of last night, I was leading my company in referral leads so far this month. And I think it's due to, several practices I've adopted during this time, okay? So again, the 80-20 rule, right? Many of you guys have heard that 20% of your clients will drive 80% of your income. It really applies to a lot of things in life. So if you have a client that maybe that you've worked with several times or that they've seen you, now you build rapport, reach out to them, right? Your most valuable clients, I would say. Now, also think of J.J. Watt during Harvey, right? Building goodwill. Remember when Harvey happened and everybody was getting together and Houston was a whole big old family? I was in Florida. I'm from Florida, by the way, guys. I'm from Palm Beach, Florida. And I was out there looking at the whole Hurricane Harvey situation. And I remember seeing J.J. Watt donating and things of that nature. And it made me think of him as a better person, right? So if J.J. Watt was a realtor, then I'd probably reach out to him to sell me a home, right? So another thing really quick, social media. Many of you guys, and there are many generations of realtors, right? Whether you're 20 years old just starting or whether you're 40 or 50 or been in the game for forever, adapt to social media and do it now. Don't actually do it yesterday, right? So don't wait until tomorrow. A lot of people are afraid to get in front of the camera as well. I wasn't first too, but let me tell you one thing: people really don't care what you look like on camera. Okay, they care far less than what you think they do. I think it's content. Okay, build. Repetitive. Keep doing it, right? Keep doing it until it works, until it sticks. Create videos. I've had several of my, I had Lucy Vega. She's an awesome realtor friend of mine with EXP Realty. And she asked me we went to Buffalo Bayou to get a run in and catch up. And then we decided to do a video as well, right? A short little video snippet of maybe you could do something informative. You could team up with somebody that you've worked with. And short video doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be something like this or a podcast. It's just a short video you can post on Facebook where you get people's attention. You give them something informative and they like that. They digest it. People love taking in information, right? Pictures are great. One thing I did is the Rustic. I live in East Downtown. The Rustic is a place I like to go here, right? They were doing this thing where essentially if I donate a chicken sandwich, they'll match that and donate it to a hospital worker, right? I found out about that. I liked it. One of the things that I was doing is I basically posted on Facebook, for anybody that sends me a lead, I will give you $25 gift card or, to go eat at your local restaurant. No chain, right? No Whataburger. I need a local restaurant that's owned mom and pop, like owned by a family, something like that. You're supporting them, right? So Rustic, I think they got maybe 3 restaurants, but I still consider it small enough. So I actually went out there and I took a picture with the director of marketing, was it? Right in front of Rustic. And I posted it on Facebook. I got a lot of great feedback. Several realtors that were on my Facebook reached out to me, right? I ended up quoting one, and now she's my client right at the moment, right? And also I built relationships with realtors and mortgage lenders. That paid volumes to me. It took me $16, right? Which is, the return on investment is amazing. $16 for generating business by building a relationship with brand new realtors or quoting someone out at the moment, right? So it was a nice, good Facebook hit. Now, also, don't be afraid to be funny. Be yourself. Have memes. People love memes. I love looking at memes and laughing. I don't know if anybody's looked at the Tiger King or watched the Tiger King. It's a crazy, crazy documentary, okay? If you haven't, I suggest you watch it with your spouse. You're probably going to have your mouth open the whole time. Like, what the hell is going on, right? So I remember, again, to bring up Grant, my buddy, he's awesome on social media. He posted, there's a picture of the Tiger King. And he's with a tiger, and he's like dressed, I think, like Versace dress shirt and like some nice jewelry or whatever. He basically put his face on the guy's face, right? And he posted that, and he said something. I don't know what his status was, but he said something witty. Hundreds of likes on Facebook, referrals on referrals, right? People laughed. It's a marketing genius thing, right? Also, do virtual open houses if you can. Whatever fits your budget. Like I work with a real estate group. They're $100 million producers out in Katy, and they are amazing with social media. I mean, they are known for social media. I do videos with them, and it looks professional. I feel like an actor, right? You're not saying you have to have a big budget to do stuff like that or have drones flying over homes, but do something, right? Just basically get on social media, start posting, start calling your clients, build goodwill, build your brand, be yourself, get some money, get some business up. Let's help people. People first, right? And yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you guys digest that information. I hope it's helpful. It's helped me in my business. And if you guys have any ideas at all, one thing I want to ask about you guys is, I shared a little information with you. I would love to get some information from anybody here today. If you've done something that you've seen has worked and generated referrals, I would love for you to reach out to me. Our contact info will be posted, and let me know what you've done. Let's connect, right? So that's pretty much it. So I guess I'll take it back to Veronica.
Absolutely. Jose, could you go through the Q&A in the chat box, please, see what questions we have? Thank you,
Yes.
Sebastian.
Yes, so Sebastian, we've got a question from Leslie. What if they're within two zones? Example, and then she's got AE. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. So what if they're within two different zones? You're muted. You're muted.
So they have to be, it's going to be one zone. For example, I've had a client that literally, he's like, I don't know if I'm in a flood zone or not. Like my neighbors are, he's like right next door, but I don't think I am or whatever, right? So the flood zone determination showed me like literally he was on the dot where now he's in zone A and this person's in zone X. It's FEMA, right? They re-rated, they make the ratings. I don't know how often they re-rate things, right? But essentially, if he's in a zone A, he's in a zone A. You can't be in a zone A, E, and zone X. It's not possible, right? If you met like for example, things change, right? So if your client was in a zone X last year, but now FEMA re-rated, now they're in a zone AE, well, they could probably get grandfathered in if they live in the house. So they get the rate for the standard zone, right? But if they just moved in and it's zone AE, then unfortunately they're going to have to pay for it, or they're going to be forced to pay for flood insurance because, well, it's high risk, right? So the question about elevation certificate, I always recommend getting one. It usually lowers your price definitely by a lot. It helps. As far as 2 years old, I think that's sufficient enough to work. I mean, somebody sent me once one from like 2008. I was like, that's not going to work. 2008, that's way too long. But I think 2 years old would work. I don't want to give you an answer that is not correct, but I'm pretty sure it would work. If not, it depends on several carriers. If you're doing private zone, for example, private flood insurance, like Neptune flood. If you're doing like through FEMA product, then I don't know, the guidelines probably are different, but yeah, I think 2 years old would work. Yeah.
Okay. And then Josie, we've got two questions that came in a little bit later for you. Yeah, so we've got one. So if the gap insurance expires in the 30 days, what will happen to the buyers that have already occupied the home?
So that is an underwriting question. Our underwriters on our Zoom call will be addressing those questions with us as we go. As of right now, like I said, they're looking at 30 days. They're hoping that it's not more than 30 days, but I don't have an answer set in stone for that.
Okay. And then somebody said they're very interested in becoming a mobile notary. They're currently a notary, and they missed the first part of the call. Is there someone that they can call to get that set up that you know of?
So for the RON, they need to contact the Secretary of State.
Okay.
I will also throw in there that our underwriter did say they had checked with the notary company before all this happened. Listen, how many applications are you getting per day? They said, 50, 60, is what we're getting. After all this happened, they reached out to them again and they said, we have thousands of applications, thousands.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So I think that's it for the questions, everybody. So Veronica, I'll let you take it.
Absolutely. Guys, we were right on time. We have about 2 minutes left, so we're going to make some just quick announcements. Thank you so much, first of all, to our panelists. I know they did an incredible job, so applause to you guys. Thank you very much for investing your time and helping. I love the visual of the toolbox. Some of the tools in the toolbox, in order for them to stay efficient as a tool, you've got to sharpen them, right? So iron sharpens iron. That's what we're doing, is we're being transparent. We're being vulnerable by putting ourselves out there and connecting with you guys as our realtor partners and just trying to share information. This is definitely not a, one all where we give all the solutions and all the tools. Just like there's multiple tools in the toolbox, depending on your need, there's multiple solutions to all real estate transactions and the real estate needs of our community. So it's definitely not a one size fits all kind of answer. So, drop a comment in the chat box. Send us a message. We'd love to continue this. Thank you so much, Sean. Great information. Thank y'all so much. It's our pleasure. So, thank you again. We definitely want to do future events. This event actually kind of came through. We originally had a 1-hour CE course scheduled for earlier this week. Thank you so much, Jose, for putting that flyer up. So unfortunately, because of COVID-19, it was pushed back. So it's actually been rescheduled for August the 18th. We're hoping and praying that we're back to a new normal by then. So there's the information. We'll send it out to all the attendees. We actually were already sold out. So we're going to open up a few more spots for you guys to, be able to register and join us. It's completely free. You're Fantastic Four right here. We're sponsoring lunch, so join us in a couple of months. And again, post in the chat, email us. Jose, could you put up our contact information, por favor? Thank you. That's all of our contact information. We're here to serve. We're here to help. We appreciate you. If there's anything that we can do for you and your real estate needs, and hey, if you just need someone to talk to, we're here. We're here to help. So thank you again. Yes, ma'am. I heard. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something, Josie. Yeah, give us a call, text us, email us. We're all over Facebook and social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. Look up Josie's hashtag Just Ask Josie. That's her brand. Now I've got to really think of one. So thank you, Sebastian. That's my action item. I'm walking away with. I'm like,
yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
right?
I got to come up with something too. So
yeah. So I need a Just Ask Josie kind of hashtag. So make it fun, right? Like you said, Sebastian, let's have fun. So thank you, Jose. You've been our guru behind the scenes, putting all this technology stuff together. It's a lot of work behind the scenes, but we do it because we care. We love our agent partners. You guys are our friends. And at the end of the day, we're making dreams come true through homeownership. So thank you to everyone. We appreciate you. Have a great
Bye, all.
weekend.
alrighty. Bye, guys.